everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. This is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for April 15th to the 30th, 2021. Okay, let's see what messages we have for Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, what I can see for you is that right now you're in a time where, there's a lot of shadow personality elements here. The shadow aspect of yourself is really on your mind. Right now, you are in a place where you're looking at yourself and you're almost in a place of aimlessness. There was a lot of passion and excitement for you in the past. And right now, you're finding it challenging to create something new, something passionate in the future, because you're really, really looking at your identity and you're dwelling in the shadow aspect of yourself right now. You could be feeling like, instead of the future being exciting to you, right now the future is making you feel a sense of lost. You feel lost in the shadow aspect of yourself, and you're struggling to find that creative energy that used to motivate you. And, it's interesting looking at your spread here because, you really see yourself right now as not having emotional abundance. You're not feeling particularly secure in your emotional state, and you're not tapping into emotion, Sagittarius, almost here by choice. And it's interesting because when it's necessary for you to have an outer expression of emotion, let's say, a friend needs to talk, or, there's someone who needs your guidance in an emotional way, the outer manifestation of you is that you're open to that you are emotionally present, and that you are able to offer emotional connections to other people. But it's interesting, Sagittarius, because within yourself, you've decided no when it comes to relationships on an emotional level. That really goes along with the fact that the overall reason for why you're experiencing this feeling of not being able to express yourself, because you're sitting in sort of a situation where you're in the shadow element of your identity. That's really what's on your mind. And the only thing that's holding it back, the only thing that's holding you back from really getting to a place where it's very dark, and that you're really only, your perspective about yourself is completely shadow, no light, no balance, right? You're only looking at yourself through the eyes of your ego. The only thing holding that back for you, Sagittarius, is knowledge and self-discovery. The only thing that's holding that back is this new sense of identity that's developing, and that has you really examining yourself, but only through the shadow side. It's interesting. It's like you want to do something, that you want to continue something that started in the past. I'll show you what I mean here. In the past, you have a very strong Queen of Wands energy, upright, which suggests expressing the creative soul in a very feminine manner through the masculine energy by being very creative, a versatile energy. The Queen of Rods really is a creative energy that's versatile, and it's sustained. Like in the past, you had a very clear, sustained, flexible, versatile vision of this creative energy that you possess. And we see here that in the present, you have the King of Wands, but in the reverse. So that really suggests that you're in a place where there is a disconnect in your ability to connect your vision to the external world. So that's what's happening for you right now in the present. And the thing that's helping you sort of hold back that disconnect is this new forming sense of yourself, this new physical energy that you're gathering up. And you're really paying attention to yourself here. But the issue with this paying attention to yourself is that right now you're only looking at yourself through the eyes of your shadow. You're only looking at yourself through this ego side of yourself. You're not fully examining yourself fairly, and you feel aimless as a result. You know, you're heading into the unknown future, but not with confidence. You're heading into it feeling sort of lost and aimless. But in the future, I can see actually quite the opposite for you. It appears that you're almost going to receive an astonishing, remarkable ending to a situation that's holding you back. It's almost like there's going to be a miraculous change to a situation that you see as dead end. You know, so this aimless feeling, I don't expect it to last very long. I think what's going to happen is that once you do step into it, even though it feels aimless, something suddenly is going to provide you with a very clear idea of how to proceed. Very clear, in fact. And you're really going to see this dead end situation that's on your mind that could be, you know, really impacting your ability to push that creative energy that you had in the past to keep it moving. Because in the past, you were at a level where it was being sustained. And in the present, it feels challenged by this new identity that's forming. And the way you're forming this new identity needs to shift, because you're forming it in a sense of just looking at the shadow element, right? You're not actually looking at it through the lens of balance. You're looking at it one-sided. And on the inner level, you're really feeling closed to emotion. You're not feeling that there will be a permanency in the realm of emotional expression, Sagittarius. And it's interesting because the rest of the world really sees you as being open and emotionally available, but you know, are not really feeling emotionally available on the inside, probably because you're feeling pretty lost. You know, you're feeling aimless. Now, what you're hoping for and what you're sort of, you know, the thing that we hope is usually the thing that we fear, is that you will come to a truth when it comes to you're having a hard time coming to the truth when it comes to what is exactly the expression that you want to use to create this soulful thing that you have on your mind. You know, you're really at a place where you're like, I don't know how to go from here. I don't know who I am. I'm looking at myself through the shadow lens, and as a result, I'm hoping that I'll be able to create and manifest this vision that I have, but I'm also terrified that I won't be able to, and that I won't figure it out. And it's almost like I feel guided to tell you that if you start down this path, that becomes the impediment to manifesting what you want. And you did receive the Magician card in reverse as your final outcome, which is sort of interesting because that suggests that the way you're going about things is not going to be the path to manifest what your vision is. This is advice suggesting that you need to take a different path. You're focusing on what you don't have right now, and you need to start focusing on what you do have. The more you focus on what you don't have, all the universe hears is, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. And then it has to support you. It gives you experiences that support the story you're telling yourself. So if you keep telling yourself, Sagittarius, that you don't have enough and that there aren't resources and I don't know who I am and I'm lost and I'm aimless and I don't know how to push my passion forward, all you're telling the universe is to provide you with experiences that support that feeling of aimlessness and experiences that support the feeling of being lost. And so you're almost setting yourself up here, and the outcome is coming at you to say, change how you're doing this, change the story. You got to tell yourself a different story if you want to see different results, right? And in the stages of reviewing your identity that's forming slowly here, and you're taking care of the needs of the body, and you're, trying to find a new sense of belonging, there is this shadow element that's on your mind. And that really could be because you are closed off to being open to new emotions. You are closed off, even in your own mind, to really changing that story that needs to change. And, there is something astonishing moving into the future. So whatever it is that's really got you feeling sort of this hopeless vibe, it's going to shift. This suggests that something is coming to really almost have like a Cinderella moment in your life where it's like, that what happened? Like, are you serious? That big shift happened. That was the only obstacle in my mind, and now it's gone? Really? So, something really big is shifting for you, Sag, and you are being asked to take care in how you're manifesting. What is the story you're telling yourself? What is the communication and correspondence you're having with yourself and the universe about yourself? You're really sitting in that devil energy that is your shadow. That's your ego. Are you really going to let your ego drive this whole time? You've got to involve a spiritual aspect here. That is understanding that you are more than just your ego. Your ego is just the sort of the projection of yourself when it's here on earth, but there is more to you than that. You are more than just that ego. So you don't have to, it's almost like I feel like you're sitting in judgment of yourself a little bit here. Now, okay, so the card, the final oracle message here that came out for you was the question why, which is exactly what you're doing in the devil card. You're asking yourself why. You're questioning your motives. You're coming to conclusions that I feel are the wrong story to be telling yourself right now. You're coming to conclusions where you're judging yourself, and as a result, you're putting out a message to the universe that says, I'm lost, I'm hopeless, I'm aimless, I'm shameful, maybe I don't deserve, and I'm not enough. All of these ego things that are just going to keep you looping and looping, but not looping in a way that is bringing in the energy that that you represent. It's bringing in energy just from the ego, just from the shadow. There needs to be balance. And so your oracle message of why really signifies that you need to look at how you're doing this self-evaluation. Try and understand that while you're trying to find this new identity, there needs to be balance there. You can't do it with just criticism. You can't do it with just evaluating the ego, right? And so the why card is really asking you to ask the intention, find the intention here. And I'm certain that when you look clearly at the intention, you're going to see that there is room for compassion here for yourself, Sag, and there's room for a new story. There's room for a new story. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, Sag. Thank you so much for joining me. If this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading to understand or clarify things more, my email is in the description below. Okay, thank you again, and I hope you'll join me for some more readings very soon. Okay, take care, everyone.